my bio, you're probably aware of the fact that I had a fairly significant hand injury a number of decades ago, and I have very limited use of the middle two fingers of my fretting hand, my left hand. And because of that, I continually have to do technique exercises, and so I've run across quite a number of them over the years. Most of them are fairly boring to do, things like that. This one that I'm going to show you is actually one that I really like and I've used for decades now, simply because of the fact that it promotes independence of fingers. You can use all combinations of fingers using this exercise. It's a little bit more interesting than some of the other things you see, because it's sort of a repeating pattern that you can kind of have a bunch of different techniques associated with it. You can do it with strict alternate picking, you can do it with legato, so you can do a lot with it. And like I said, in every finger combination, you can also do it in every string combination and fret combination. It just depends on how much you want to put into it. But the pattern also has a slide in it, a couple slides actually, and so it makes it a little bit more interesting to play. So I'm going to play it really slowly here and we'll go through it. And the reason why I call this an annoying pattern is because of the fact that, if you noticed, that pattern really doesn't resolve. So it's a repeating pattern and you can play it endlessly. And when you play it for probably a couple of minutes long, which you should do, for every finger combination, you should basically play this for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that. It gets a little harder to do to keep it accurate and moving in the right direction without mistakes. So that's where the challenge comes from, and that's sort of what builds your technique, it builds your muscle memory. But if you do it for a fairly significantly long time, it kind of starts getting a little bit on your nerves, especially people who are listening to you. Not so much you, because you're playing it, but anybody who is sitting in a room while you're doing this is going to start thinking they want to stick forks in their eyes. So you can see that it kind of can work on your nerves a little bit. Now there's only two patterns here, so we'll break it down and I'll show you basically how to apply this. The first pattern that we're going to do is, and I'm simply using a D string and a G string for this, and I'm starting on the 7th fret, and every finger gets a fret, so finger 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So we're just going to do a pattern. The first pattern is 1, 4. So if you're starting on the D string of the 7th fret, you're going 7, 10 on the D string, dropping down to the G string, 7, 10. That's pattern 1. So now pattern 2 is the reverse of that. So you replay the 10, and it's 10, 7, 10, 7. So pattern 1 and 2 together. If I could play it. So that's it. Now, to play the whole pattern, we basically just apply those in different ways. So pattern 1, pattern 2, pattern 1 again, slide up, pattern 2, slide back, pattern 1, pattern 2, slide up, pattern 2, slide back, pattern 2. The whole pattern, and then you just keep repeating it endlessly until it drives your family crazy. Now once you have the initial pattern down, again you can pick it up to whatever tempo you want, play it basically as fast as you can and keeping it smooth and accurate. But once you get the pattern down, then you can just mix and match your other fingers. So we can play the pattern with 1 and 3. We can play it 1 and 2. We can play it 2 and 4. We can play it 3 and 4, yeah, 3 and 4. All right, Alright, so if you played the pattern and you get it down, some of the things to sort of pay attention to. One is that I'm doing alternate picking, but for whatever reason, I didn't even realize I was doing this until I started to break this down for this video. I do a little bit of what's called inside picking. I don't know why I do it. You can either do it or not. I don't know why my amp just popped. But basically what I'm doing is when I play pattern 1, I'm doing down up strokes. So that was down, up, down, up. When I do pattern 2, I play down, up. When I come up, I do up, down. Then I repeat down, up. I didn't really realize that I was doing that until recently. And I do it every time I come from the G string to the D string. It's a quirk of what I do, I guess. I don't know. But for me, it basically makes it a little smoother. But you can practice basically just strict down, up, all the way through the pattern. Another thing that I'll point out that I'm doing that may help is that when I'm playing pattern 1 or pattern 2 just alone, I'm picking up my index finger each time to move it to the next string. So each time I went from the D string to the G string, I actually picked up my index finger and moved it. But when I do the repeating pattern 2 and it's sliding back, I bar the 2 strings, and it just makes it a little bit smoother to me than picking it up. But do, I guess, whatever feels comfortable to you. The idea is basically to get the pattern to where you're building your muscle memory, your dexterity, your accuracy, and your speed. So whatever is comfortable to you, basically you want to probably just continue to do that, or you can basically mix and match some of the things that I just talked about and try and learn a little bit of a different technique for playing pretty much anywhere. And again, you can play this pattern or any string combination. You can play it anywhere on the fretboard. And like I said, do it for a couple of minutes for each finger combination, and it should help you improve your playing overall. There is a variation of this that is a little more into playing solos and things, and I'll try to cover that in another video. But have a good day, hit the subscribe button, and keep playing.